Right, morning everyone. Friday morning, 10th, 11th, 12th of December. Don't know what day it is, about 12th I think. Bit of deja vu today. Got a lovely guitar in again to do some work on. I had one of these. I'll tell you what it is straight away. It's a Tanglewood TW47. I had one of these in a few months ago, and a guy seen my video on YouTube there, and he's got the same guitar, same kind of problem. So he's driven, I imagine, he's driven 50-60 miles to bring my guitar down there because he wants me to sort it out for him. So, you know, we'll have a look at it. I've already took strings off. I've already given neck level. It's going to be pretty much the same as what I did last time. You know the guitars, beautiful, all mahogany, tortoiseshell binding, some good Grover tuners on the end there. Tanglewood Fisherman EQ, a beautiful gloss to it, beautiful guitar. Now I've already had it on my bench, got my neck flat, ready for, he bought it in, the guy bought it, it belongs to Chris, he bought it in, he said it doesn't sound very bright. Well, there's not a lot I can do about the brightness, but new strings always old, but on inspecting it, I found there's I told him, I emailed him, I says there's 7 frets won't do him, there's actually 8 frets won't do him. They're not level. I've had me fret level rocker there on a few of the frets, and I'll take you down there and you can have a look. We're about there. That's good enough. And I've had my fret rocker on there. I don't know if you can hear that from there, but we're rocking tiny bit there. So tiny bit there. There again. Just hear that. When you get to fret 11, a lot of rock on there. 13, a lot on there. 14, a lot on there. And we'll come up again, 16, quite a lot on there. And fret 19 here, a lot on there. So this end is where the body meets the neck, and you always here you get a bit of a problem because your truss rod actually only really affects or really works from here, which is about the 12th, 16th, 17th fret down to the 2nd fret. That's all your truss rod really affects. Once you get to this end here, you've got your body, so that's glued to your body, but so that doesn't move anyway. It doesn't move at all, this part of your neck, even with your truss rod. So it's only this part that really moves. So what we're going to do is, we're going to level these off. We're going to re-crown, as we always do. We're crowning file there. Crowning means we'll put the arc, when we level them they're going to be flat, and then to crown them again we put the arc back on. I use this. I've also got a tool that does this job. It's a crowning tool. I bought this off a guy, a friend of mine, off a Hamer fan club, Hamer Guitars fan club. He's based in Germany or Austria. I bought this off him with all different heads on here. So this basically will round them off, but I still find it better to use a crowning file after I've used this, so I'll use that to finish off anyway. And then it'll be a regular polish of the frets like we do, where you know what that entails, we've done it all before. And again, the original saddle. Bone. I don't work with bone, I'm vegan, we know I don't work with bone, so what I do is with these, once it lowering his action's too high. I've seen the action, it is too high. So I don't work with bone. What I do is I'm going to recut him one out of one of these bridges I get saddles are made from array of resin. It's as hard as bone. Tone wise you're not going to notice a difference, but it's easy to cut. So I've already put his bridge on there, shown where I need to cut this, and I'll cut and file this by hand, and that'll be his new bridge. So his action will be lower. So that's really it. Apart from doing the frets, I'll obviously polish them, round them all off. Fit my new saddle, restring it, get the intonation, well not the intonation, but get it all tuned up, and that'll be it. Give it a wipe over, give it a bit of a clean, and that is going to be it. So that's what I'm going to be blobbing on with this morning. I've got other things lined up to do. I've got a few Levinson blades to do as well. They've got electrical problems on the VSC. But main job today is get this done, get this ready, finished. This will be finished this afternoon. And that's really going to be it. I'm not going to show the process of the work I've done. I mean, what I do is when I'm doing fret work, just come here. What I tend to do is mark up the frets I'm going to be working on. I've already done these. I put black on the top, black marker pen on each one, but what I do is I start putting a red dot just on the edge here so I know which fret I'm going to be working on. And then this, I'll just buff this off later with some wire wool once I've got them all finished. So I know I've done all my frets, I've lined up, I know which ones I'm working on, and that's really it. Just a matter now of getting the work done. And that'll be it. So I'll come back later with an update. I'll do a sound test update as well. We'll get it plugged in and we'll have a sound check, and we'll play it acoustically, and that'll be it. I'll get back to you soon. Right, back. Couple of things to show you. We're still on this the Tanglewood TW47. Now, I'm going to show here. I've done all the work on the neck, all the frets. I'm going to show you that in a minute. I'm going to show more on that in a second. Now, here. It's the original saddle, made of bone. Like I say, I'm vegan. I don't really want to work with bone. Not that I wouldn't work with it. I would work with it, but I prefer these. I always put these on my acoustics. This is made from a rare resin. It's a really hard resin, but it's quite easy to file. But it's it's like bone. So what I've done is I've cut a new saddle. And just to show you the comparison of the two, I'll show you the difference. There you go, and hopefully you'll see that. There's some dark behind it. You'll see. Hang on, come to level. There you go. We'll take the action down a little bit. So probably better if I show you on the guitar. If I just zoom in here. There's the original. That's the original bridge, saddle. Sit like so. And now I'm going to put in the replacement. There you go. It's considerably about a millimetre lower, I think, especially on this side. So we're going to have a lower action. See if I can show you on here. Show the difference. You might see it better there. There you go. You can see a difference there. Should be able to. And so the owner can keep that if he wants to put it back in. And I'll put in the replacement there. Rare resin ones aren't that expensive, for a few quid. Then you've got obviously you've got to cut it, so you've got a bit of labour on top of that. I'm only charging them a fiver for that. They cost me 3 quid, so I'm charging 2 quid labour. It's took me 20 minutes, half an hour to make that. So 2 quid labour, you're doing alright, eh? My rate's 25 quid an hour, if I had a rate. So there you go, so that's ready to go. Right, all I'm going to do now is I'm going to show, because you've all seen how to do frets. I've shown these in past videos, but I'm going to show is how to crown a fret, how to take a fret from once we've levelled it and it's flat. I can show you how to put that crown back in it, that arc. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you on this fret. I've already done it. I'm just going to show you how we do it. So let's just zoom in. We want to be on that second fret there. As you can see, that's beautiful. as you can see, there's a fret. I've just put some marker pen on it, just covered it in marker pen. The reason I do this is, might be a bit flat on top there. A bit of pen on the bit flat, might be a bit flat on top. So I'm just going to show you, using my crowning file, how we'll work around this. And what we do is, I don't know if we can do it from this angle, I'll try not to get in the way. We take his file, now this file has got ground edges, so we can't damage the guitar. All three edges are ground. And what we're going to do is, we're going to just go across the fret and we're going to alter the angle of the file. Just some light strokes. And what we're aiming to do is, there you go, what we're aiming to do is make this red line marker pen as thin as possible. Because that red line is going to determine what part of the string it's what part of the fret. Now if you see there you go, it's as simple. These are really light. I'm going across really lightly, by the way. Very light. And there you go. Hopefully you can see that. We've got the thinnest red line just on top of the fret there now. And that's the only part of the string that's going to touch that fret. And once we've done that, we've now got this crowned. That's crowned beautiful. Take some steel wool. This is the finest grade steel wool you can get, 0000 grade. And that's it. We'll polish the fret. And that's it. That is all the frets polished, crowned. I did all the other ones earlier. And that's ready, that guitar. Now all I've got to do now with that guitar is I'm going to take some lemon oil. This is a Gubbins I use, 65, Dunlop 65, which 65 is the year I was born, so I like 65. In fact I only buy Dunlop 65 gear. Look, polish, cleaner, cream of corn auber there, which is like a body gloss. That's a cleaner, that's a body gloss. And that's a lemon oil. I'm going to put some lemon oil all over the fretboard, which conditions the fretboard and cleans it. And then, that's it. Then we're going to bag some strings on it. We're going with Chris has bought these. I've never used these. Demarkle cryogenic activated acoustic. Cryogenic, I suppose, have been in stasis for 2,000 years in a freezer or something. I ain't got a fucking clue what that means. They're a light set, gauge 11 to 52. They're going to sound good, you just tell. So that's all I've got to do is guitar now. It's all over neck, fretboard. Let that soak in, let it dry off, polish it off, restring it, get it tuned up, check the level of the neck again on the truss rod. We just put a twist on the truss rod, little turn thing. And that'll be it. The next video you see on this guitar will be, I'll be playing it. We'll do a little sound demo. And for now, that is it. I'll get back to you again soon. Good stuff. Right, so the Tanglewood, it's done. Pleased with it, it's just, the action's lower. I'm just not convinced it's low enough. Well, it is low enough. The thing is, I didn't realise before, this guitar has obviously been kept in a humid room. Now the thing is with keeping a guitar in a humid room where there's a bit of moisture in the air is, moisture gets into the wood. Now when you've got moisture in a body top, because it's going to get in through the sound hole, and you've got 60 kilogram, 80 kilogram of pressure pulling on the strings, what's going to happen is, you're going to get a bit of a belly. Here, it's called belly swell, and I think we've got a bit of that here. What happens when you get a bit of belly swell is your bridge or your saddle tips up. This is tipped up just a little. When it tips up a little, it brings your action higher. Now what I've done is I have lowered the action a millimetre. Now I've played the guitar and it sounds nice. The intonation is bang on. So when I fret and play a note at the 12th fret, it's exactly in tune, which means the action is set absolutely perfectly. and it's absolutely fine. It's just a little bit higher than I would choose myself. Now if I really wanted to be picky, I could take another mill off that bridge. I'm not going to do that because it's going to take the bridge right down, or the saddle, it's going to take it right down to the level of the bridge. And we don't want that because that's going to give us some buzz. So I'm going to leave it. I've decided I'm going to leave it. Show the action there. I don't think it's disastrous. I just think that's as high as I'd want to be. I've reset the neck, I've altered the truss rod, and I've just strung the guitar. It plays lovely. Sounds really nice. So I'm pleased. I'm immensely pleased with the work because the frets. I mean, the frets are absolutely level now. Fretwork is my speciality, I think. Then again, there's not nothing. I'm good at all of it. I just am. It's just the way I am. That's what happens when you ask the Lord to guide your hands, as I always do. The guitar, yeah, it's beautiful. I would just try and keep it out of humidity a bit, you know. And if you're not going to play it for a great length of time, I would slacken the strings off a little bit so there's less pressure on there. I mean, if I wanted to be picky about it, there are things we could do to take this belly swell out, but it's a long-winded process. It takes a few days. I'm going to talk to Chris about it, see what he says. But I imagine he's going to want to come and look at the guitar anyway. He's coming down Sunday, so he might as well do that. If I was a customer, I'd be happy to take this away Sunday. I'd be really pleased with it. It looks good, it sounds good. It does sound dry, it does sound a little bit bassy. I think it's just how these guitars are. I know Chris has already said he wants it to sound a bit brighter. The thing is, acoustically, it's not going to sound bright. It sounds very bassy to me, but the thing is, the sound's coming out the front and behind it. Now, when you plug these in, you can get any sound you want, any kind of bright sound. So I won't really worry about it. I would play the guitar and I'd love it and I'd enjoy it. It's going to give you years of, still got years left in it. It's a beautiful looking guitar, and I'm really quite pleased with it. I'm going to let it settle overnight, let my neck settle, and I'm going to come back and have another look at it tomorrow. I'm going to play it, and I'm going to plug it in tomorrow, and I'll play it all up and down the fretboard. I know we've got no buzz anyway, because I know what a good job I've done on my frets, but I'm going to get a proper, proper testing tomorrow. So that's it for now. The guitar is done, looks great, sounds great, and that's it. I'll get back to you tomorrow.